Oh, wait.
Wait.
All aboard!
Oh.
Extra, extra! Read all about it! The new movie review!
Okay.
All right, enough. Put that down.
Put down the sleigh.
Welcome! Wow, the Polar Express just
Yeah,
went on through.
Did you guys hear that?
That was incredible.
We are back for episode 2 of the CMMC. The Christmas... Here, let's say it all together. The
Christmas Movie Club.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
I'm jazzed.
Dinner!
Okay. And we are Light Up Lauren. Lit Up Lauren? Fuck, I'll never get that
Lit Up
right.
Lauren.
You're lit up.
Yeah, lit up.
Lit up, Lauren.
Lit up.
It's your boy, Tiny Tim, formerly Tinsel Tim.
Yep. It's your girl, Candy Cane Christine. Woo!
We're recording again from the sound booth at the North Pole. Thanks, Chris.
For loaning us your recording equipment.
Chris Kringle.
Thank you.
Yeah, so before we get into the movie that we're going to be talking about, we did get
Some mail.
Yeah, we received
today.
a letter, so we're gonna open it up and see what it says.
Where's it from? What state?
Washington. All right. Let's see what this says here. Dear Tiny Tim, Lit Up Lauren, and Candy Cane Christine, what are your favorite and least favorite Christmas songs? Love, Wendy. Thank
Wendy
you,
sent
Wendy.
that?
Yeah, Wendy from Washington. Thank you, Wendy, so much for sending that to us.
Wendy with the hard questions.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys...
Lit Up Lauren, would you like to answer that first?
Oh, sure. If I had to pick my least favorite Christmas song, the Little Drummer Boy kind of sucks.
Really?
Yeah, it's really repetitive.
I hate the Little Drummer Boy.
I mean, it's that or it's the 12 Days of Christmas. It's one of the two, because that one's just plain annoying and too long, and like I don't need to hear the same thing over and over again. And Little Drummer Boy, it's just boring. It's just like rumpa-pum-pum bullshit, like over and over again.
I agree.
Yeah.
When he comes.
I think Sting has a pretty cool version of that song.
Does he?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I'll
Check
have
out
to
the
listen to it.
Sting version of
Maybe
Little
it'll
Drummer
change
Boy.
my mind.
Do you not like the one with David Bowie? And wasn't it David Bowie? Is it
And Bing Crosby,
and Bing
I
Crosby?
think.
And it's very low, like come little.
Yeah.
That's like better.
Peace on earth.
There's better ones.
Can it be? Years from now, perhaps we'll see.
It sounds like you really like it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not really like it's not
I
really
feel
the
you.
same
I
song.
understand.
It's just not. There's a lot of good ones out there, and that one's just not it. My favorite one is by the Carpenters. I'll Be Home. What the hell is it called though? Is it called I'll Be Home for
think it's I'll Be
Christmas?
Yeah.
Or no, Merry Christmas, Darling.
Merry Christmas, darling.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. The sad one. That's really good.
Christmas cards.
Merry
Oh, good.
Christmas. That one?
Darling.
Darling.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the sweet one.
I was very wistful as a child hearing that like at night, and like there's some snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's really moody and good. And it is.
That's a good one.
She has a very warm voice.
Mm.
It's very
Yes.
Christmassy.
They're so wholesome.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was lovely.
R.I.P.
All right.
All right, that's me.
I guess I'll go since Tiny Tim is eating an ice cream sandwich right now
He's
in the
already-
middle of our podcast.
He can't get enough cold shit, even though we're at the North Pole.
All right, my least favorite Christmas song would be the Jason Mraz rendition of Winter Wonderland.
Oh.
It's terrible.
Never heard it.
Oh, you don't
I
want to
think
hear it.
I've heard it.
So, what I don't like about it is he rushes through Winter Wonderland. So it doesn't sound like you're walking in a Winter Wonderland anymore. It sounds like you're running through it. He's like, how's it go? He'll be like, walking in a Winter Wonderland. Like he speeds up just for that part. I don't know. I know he tried to like put his stamp on it and make it Jason Mrazzi,
Right.
but like it just
Bad
for
choice.
me doesn't work. And I'm sorry, Jason Mraz.
Sorry, Jay.
I will give him a compliment. I went to one of his concerts. I don't know, maybe 9-10 years ago. It was one of the best concerts I ever saw. And I'm not even a Jason Mraz fan. I was just a guest, and it was amazing. So no hate for Jason Mraz, but
I agree.
I don't like that song.
I actually really liked Waiting for My Rocket to Come, that whole album.
Oh, I don't know that one.
What is that?
It
It's
sounds...
a Jason Mraz album.
Sounds
It's one where
really
it's like,
sexual.
you got... well, no, it's got the
Wait,
one where it's like,
what?
because I got the book, and you got the remedy,
Oh,
the remedy.
I used to
Oh.
like that song when it came out. Not gonna lie.
The album I liked from him is Love is a 4-letter Word. That was the tour.
Drawing of him with the hat.
No, I don't think that was on it. It looked
You guys
like
really know a lot
blocks or
about
something.
Jason Mraz.
I know.
Jesus.
The tour was called Tour is a 4-letter word or something. I don't
clever.
even know. But it was amazing. It was great.
But
Anyway.
not good enough to do Winter Wonderland.
No,
Well, you can't-
like,
you gotta
he
be
needs
careful.
to just stop.
When you mess with the classics. It's like,
I know.
It's dangerous territory.
Yeah.
People are very
Absolutely.
protective of classics.
Yes. So, my favorite Christmas song, would probably have to be Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee.
That's
Yeah,
a good one.
It's classic.
And followed very closely by the Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
That's
I get really pumped when I hear these songs.
I love those memes of like her rising from the dead, like when one snowflake falls, and it's like Mariah Carey.
Just picture Mariah like,
She's smelling that paycheck that's coming in.
oh yeah. That's one of the, in my opinion, I think that's one of the greatest Christmas albums of all time.
I've never listened to the full
Iconic.
album.
Yeah, me neither.
Listen to the
actually.
whole thing. It's fabulous, classic. I played it every year growing up. I had a rotation that I would do. So that was the first album I always played was Mariah Carey.
On
Then the
CD?
next one on CD because we had, remember how like CDs had like the disc changers?
Oh, yeah.
You could put like 8 in or something.
Yeah.
So I would just fill it up with all my favorites. And that was always the first one I wanted to hear. That and I liked, did you ever listen to a Very Special Christmas compilation? It was big in the 90s.
I gotta ask you what the album cover looks like.
It's like,
Is it white?
well, there's a few. The first one I think is red and it has like these drawings on them.
Oh, is it
You
like
know
Keith
what
Haring?
I'm talking about?
Is it like the Keith Haring drawings?
I don't know, maybe.
With like
It looks tribal almost, but not.
That's gotta
And then
be
the
it.
second one was green.
Yep.
And then the third one I think was gold. And I loved
Oh,
those.
There's a
Sounds
Smashing
really-
Pumpkins.
Yes, one of
song
them
on
did
it.
have Smashing. They had a lot of good stuff. They had Frank Sinatra and Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Santa Baby,
These ones.
the Eurythmics. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I loved those. There it is.
Vaguely remember that.
So good. Anyway, Tiny Tim. Hello.
I really got to listen to that Mariah Carey one so I can hear her do like that.
Oh yeah. Falsetto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Least favorite Christmas song? I'm gonna have to bring it to Last Christmas. Really don't like that song.
Yeah.
It's not Christmassy.
It's sad.
It's a good
I don't even know if I've
song.
listened hard enough to the lyrics. Last Christmas I gave you my heart.
The very
And
next
he gave it away. Yeah, that's
No,
pretty
that's
sad.
sad.
Yeah.
But I like that.
What did you think it
I
was
don't-
about?
There's a lot of songs I just sing the words and never
Like
think about what
process
they
what
mean.
you're saying.
Retain.
Yeah.
I've never liked that song. I always thought it was really schmaltzy. Favorite songs? That's a hard one because there are so many different ones that I have grown to love over the
And
years.
then there's like modern and classics. It's like hard to.
I think, honestly, the one that really hits me right in the feels is the classic chestnuts roasting on open fire.
Nat King Cole.
Nat King
the
Cole.
Christmas
Love
song.
him.
Yeah.
Love him.
But lately, I've had a real soft spot over the past couple years for that Band-Aid song, Do They Know It's Christmas?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't like that one. I don't get that one.
I'm just glad no one mentioned that they like the Bob Dylan Christmas album, because it's probably one of the worst things I've ever
I
heard.
don't think I ever heard that one.
Yeah, me neither.
This year I'm kind of...
Wonderland.
Well, this year the song I'm getting into is the one that Louis Armstrong does. He's like, from Coney Island to the Sunset Strip. I don't even know. That's my Louis
I don't
Armstrong.
think I even heard that.
I like it.
Oh, Melakamiki Maka.
You just heard that for the first time,
No, I
right?
didn't. No.
Melakalikimaka?
What's that?
Oh no, Christmas in Killarney you just heard.
Yeah.
A Bing crop.
Melakaliki Maka.
The Hawaiian
Melakaliki
Christmas.
Maka.
Saka is
Oh, I heard that
something to
recently
say.
on Spotify. I
That's a good
downloaded
one.
a Christmas playlist. So
It's a very
yes, that's on there.
sweet song.
Yeah.
So,
Good stuff.
yeah. So, what is the movie that we're going to be talking about today?
Santa Claus, AWS, which has a crazy plot that Santa's allergic to cats, and a lot happens in this movie. This movie's from 2013. It was an hour and 26 minutes long, and man, did it feel like 3 hours long.
It did.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, this one was a rough one. Not gonna lie.
You know, when we're going through Tubi and we're like seeing what we're gonna watch, there's like 3 categories of Christmas movies. There's like animated stuff, there's like the romantic stuff, or like the family movies, and then there's just like the pet movies. And it was very tempting. There's a lot of dog movies with like Santa hats, wearing dogs wearing Santa hats.
buddies,
Like
yeah.
golden retrievers.
So
Yeah.
this
Seems
kind
to
of
be the dog
cured my
choice.
itch for wondering what these kids' movies
Pet
were like. The
movies.
pets. It's like you think, oh, they like maybe they'll do a good job. Like they'll use like smart cats and stuff, but they kind of just like, I think they shot as much as they could, and then they like just stitched it together and then had people speak over it. Like it was really.
It was rough.
It was not.
You know what was funny? I just realized this movie started 30 years prior. Like the beginning was a flashback, and also Snowman's. The first movie, the first episode was 20 years later, and it was a very short flashback for both movies. They both started that way.
That's a very good
Interesting.
comparison
Wow.
between the 2 movies.
Which
Do
movie
you think
did
they're in
you
the same
like?
universe?
It could be.
The Snowman's multiverse.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sorry.
oh
I was
no,
gonna ask, which movie did you prefer?
Well,
Snowman.
I think Snowman, hands down,
Snowman
right?
is definitely clearer, better movie.
Yeah.
For sure.
If I was going to be on a island till my death, and I only had Santa Claus or Snowman's, I'd choose Snowman's.
Definitely.
I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
This is definitely a good form of torture, though, this one. Like, if you had to, like, keep someone in a room and,
Yeah.
like, play this only for them. It could drive you to madness.
They could torture like the members of ISIS. With
Yeah,
this.
like the military could take
I was
this
just thinking
movie
about like the Zero
and-
Dark 30 when they're like blasting like heavy metal to like the terrorist, but like they really could just put this on. In all seriousness though, it has its moments of redeeming qualities. It's made by the Asylum, and if I'm correct here, Asylum makes a lot of like similar quality movies. Like they make a lot of disaster movies, make a lot of horror movies. Like they'll make movies where it's like the poster looks just like Tomb Raider, but it's actually called like Room Raider or something. Like they'll do like those like really cheap knockoffs. So I feel like this was comparable in quality. Like some of the CGI was like much more impressive than I thought it was going to be, and then some of it was
bad.
really, really skimpy.
Yeah.
So do you want to start at the beginning and kind of like work our way through?
Yeah.
If you can
Sure.
remember what
I-
this, because a
I'll
lot
take
was
some
fucking
notes.
jam packed in this.
Let's see
Yeah.
here. So it opens up. There's 2 cats. A big cat. I wrote big cat, fat cat. The big cat, well, actually, the big and fat cat was Baxter, and then there was a small cat named Rigby.
Wow. I feel like I didn't watch the same movie.
This is the flashback in the beginning.
Right, this is the flashback. So Santa comes in. Then you realize here that Santa's allergic to cats. He's sneezing. At one point, a cat, I don't know which one, the little cat jumps on Santa and he's like, whoa, and he falls backwards. The tree falls over. There's a record on the tree that breaks.
That's
it's
crucial.
This big disaster.
Yeah, the records are important.
And you see this young woman, teenager. How old do you think she was?
Maybe
Preteen?
like 12, 13.
Maybe 12-year-old. She sees Santa briefly on the floor. And and then he like touches his nose. And that's how he like gets out magically and like disappears. Meanwhile, her neighbor, who for some reason I thought his name was Nathan, but then I realized his name was Marcus. So I don't know. I thought at one point she was like, "Hi, Nathan." We should rewind and see it. I don't know where I got Nathan
Well, there's
from.
a lot of inconsistencies in this movie, so you never know.
Like, I wrote down Nathan, so I don't know. So anyway, I have to make sure that I remember it's Marcus, because I wrote Nathan in all these notes. Marcus. So Marcus also sees Santa. Doesn't he take a picture of him?
Yeah,
he's like, dang it.
With a Polaroid, and it doesn't show up or something.
So, like, they both acknowledge that, you know, Marcus and her name's Julia, they like acknowledge that they had this moment where they both saw Santa. It was like this understanding that they had. And he was wearing glasses, by the way. So then when it fast forward, you know,
he's got the
30
same
years, same glasses, so you know it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Now, 30 years later, this Marcus character is a total freaking weirdo. He's like really creepy vibes. You would probably think he's a pedophile.
Yeah,
Right? Didn't he have like a pedophile
it was
vibe to him?
weird. He was talking to the blow mold Santa Claus that he was putting up in his yard, and he's just erratic. Like, it wasn't. He didn't strike me as like the character wasn't nailed. It like. I feel like when they cast it, they were like, we need like a kooky next door neighbor who's like obsessed with Christmas. That was not the character that he portrayed.
Yeah, he changed, like his vibe changed a lot. Like he was kooky, erratic, crazy, then he'd be like really creepy, and then he would like, you'd try to feel something nice for him at points, but like it was really hard to do.
Yeah.
He wasn't that likable. Also, I just realized like these people are like probably what now? Like the kids 30 years later, they're probably like in their mid-30s.
Yep.
And I just realized like they're living in the same houses that they grew up in, and their parents are dead or moved out. Like, they're still neighbors 30 years later.
I didn't think about that.
They didn't move out and get their own house. They just like took on their childhood home and by themselves. Anyway,
so
weird.
Yeah, so you see Marcus being just creepy and weird, and he's very obsessed with Santa. Given that he had this experience, he's like amazed by it, so that stays with him his whole life apparently. So then you come to meet the mother, Julia, and she has a son named Tommy, and he's really cute and sweet. He's a good boy. Right? He's always cleaning.
She the mother's a Grinch.
She's a total Grinch. She's cynical. She tells Tommy straight up, Santa's not real. It's a made-up holiday that what she said, a soda company made the holiday up as an excuse to get people to buy things.
I feel like almost every time she was talking to Tommy, she was like, "We've already discussed this." Like everything was like already discussed, and like, God forbid he doesn't want to dust the house.
Yeah, she's just like, you work for your money with your allowance, and like poor kid's like dusting and like doing anything he can.
And when the cats knock over stuff, like it's somehow like the kids' fault. Yeah. We haven't even mentioned, by the way, that the cat.
Right, that's the whole point.
They're. Let's just skip right to it. Their mouth.
Okay. Well, first there's the mama cat.
Yeah.
That's Maisie.
Julia owns this cat. Yeah.
I thank God both of you remember the names of people. I don't know any. I really couldn't tell you the names of any.
Well,
of the
it took
people.
me like an hour and a half to realize what the cats' names were.
was what
Patches.
Patches, Hairball, and
Mittens.
Really unique names there.
So there's the mom cat. There's 3 cute little kittens. They're adorable. The mom doesn't really want to keep the cats forever. She's like, we can't afford it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like I told you.
We've already discussed this.
We've already discussed this. We can't keep these cats.
But like Tommy, they're his best friends, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's sad.
And in some scenes, the cats' mouths move when they talk, and then in some scenes they don't move. I think they ran out of money in the budget.
Yeah, so they only
had to
chose
stop.
like certain moments.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
It
like,
was weird, 'cause
Are we
they were-
dealing with like Milo and Otis vibes, or are we dealing with like a more advanced?
What's that reference?
Like, you know, that's an old ass pet movie where they don't talk. Like, or wait,
Oh.
Oh, okay.
actually, that's a silent film. I don't think they talk
I
at
know
all.
that movie.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
It's a silent film. I wonder why they didn't talk.
But like, remember the
think they
movie
talk.
Homeward Bound?
Yes, that was in their minds talking.
Right.
In Homeward Bound.
You never saw their mouths
Like
move.
Rugrats.
Right, exactly.
Well, this
Wait,
movie
Rugrats,
they
they
didn't
do
know.
talk. What are you talking about?
They weren't consistent in this movie.
Yeah.
Well, then when the mouth did move, it looked like scary.
Yeah,
It was rough.
It was strange. I think that at sometimes I was like, oh, maybe they didn't do the mouths talking when it was a complex scene with movement, because they always did it
Right.
where, like when the cats were like still, but then there were multiple scenes with the cats still where they just didn't.
Yeah, I think it was a
Yeah.
budget issue.
So we mentioned the mom is kind of a Grinch, and she's so anti-Christmas that this kid has to like hide everything Christmas related, as if he's hiding porn or something. Like he has a little tree in his room, and she finds it and she puts it in the garage, and it's like, I told you.
Yeah.
He's like in his room as if he's like covering up like a murder. Like
Yeah.
he's like, and she's coming in. And he's hoping she doesn't see it, and it's like a really dramatic moment for him, at least.
And before that, when he's like cleaning earlier, he just like tries to turn on like some Christmas music just to get a little joy while he's like dusting the fireplace. And she's like, "What is that? Turn it off!" And a lot of eye rolling in this movie too.
Yes. Yeah.
From both of
Yes.
them.
So after the mom throws the tree into the garage, you see him constructing a box. Thankfully, there's holes in it, because at first I was concerned, because he put the 3 kittens in the box, and his intention was to give it to Santa, and like Santa will take care of the cats for them, because they can't afford to keep taking care of the cats. So he sets the box out on the counter along with milk and cookies for Santa.
One quick thing I wrote
Yep.
down actually was that when the cats, when they're creating all that trouble, they knock over some like mugs, and I want to just point out that she uses a dirt Dorval,
Oh, I saw that.
or
Yeah.
like a Durval or something.
Yeah, it's really like old vacuum. Also, there's massive chunks of the mug, and she takes the skinny little hose off, and that's how she's gonna clean it up. I was like, girl, your vacuum's gonna break.
So overnight, Santa Claus comes in.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tommy didn't know that Santa was allergic to cats. So Santa picks up the package of cats. He opens it and screams. This is when he's on the roof, right? He opens the he's on the roof. He takes the package.
Yeah, he eats the Nutter Butter.
Right. Then he goes up on the roof, and he...
Did he? Oh, he ate the Nutter Butter before.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh my God.
Only you knew it was a Nutter Butter.
I know, I did know that. I called that out
He
before,
was
but
fine.
again, another inconsistency.
Yes.
No, but... Oh
Tommy
my God,
said
does
the
he
cookie-
eat it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyway, no
Santa
one knows what we're
comes,
talking
eats
about
the
right
Nutter
now.
Butter. I wrote it down. Santa eats the Nutter Butter.
Okay, he eats
Okay.
Nutter Butter.
So, flash forward real quick. We also find out way later in the movie Santa has a peanut allergy. And so he apparently ate this Nutter Butter earlier in the movie and was fine.
He was fine.
Later, you'll find out he was not fine when he ate them again. So
Yeah, they made
That's-
Santa Claus like a really fragile man.
he was weak as hell.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
there'd be some
he can't handle
prerequisites to
anything.
be a Santa Claus.
This
like-
is what I don't get. He can do anything. He has all this magic. He can't take an allergy pill or manifest an like a loratadine,
Plot
Claritin,
hole.
Benadryl. Why couldn't he just not be
Yeah.
allergic to cats?
He could make a ribbon of candy appear, but he couldn't just.
Right, and he couldn't manifest an EpiPen.
By the way,
Yep.
we do get to meet two of Santa's lead reindeer, and they're basically the turtle from Finding Nemo
Right.
in reindeer form.
Yeah,
We were like, hey, dude.
hang 10. Yeah, somehow the reindeers are California reindeer.
So, back to the rooftop scene. So, Santa's on the roof where the sleigh is. He opens up the package of cats. He's like, ah, he screams. He's allergic, whatever. He ends up falling off of the roof. And then the cats are like, oh shit. They didn't say oh shit. This was a family film. They didn't say oh shit. But their minds, they're like, oh shit. They end up taking control of Santa's sleigh. And, well, remember the video pops up?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually wrote that. Elf helper in Santa's sleigh. Funny.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the sleigh, there's like a video, like an instructional video. For, what was the elf's name? Did you?
Oh,
Call
tinsel.
that? Tinsel, right.
Tinsel something.
So she's giving instructions. She's like, if there's been a malfunction, hit this button. And then it lists the reasons why. And anyway, they press the buttons and they end up just following this video. And the 3 kittens take control, and then they end up delivering all the gifts to the world
Yep.
in place of Santa, since Santa was passed out on the ground.
I've always
After
loved
falling
that
off of a
about like
roof.
Christmas movies. Like everyone has their own take on like what would the North Pole be like, and like even though this wasn't the highest budget movie, I thought that whole thing with tinsel was pretty well written and kind of like funny. It's for the adults in the theater.
That was probably the best part of the movie, to be
Yeah.
Yeah,
honest.
she
Yeah.
was the best actress too. Tinsel.
yeah.
Tinsel,
Digital
the
elf.
digital elf.
Tinsel
yeah.
reminded me of Janet. If you've ever watched The Good Place,
Yes.
Tinsel was exactly like Janet in that show.
Hmm.
If you've never watched The Good Place, then you don't know
I
what the
might have
fuck I'm
seen
talking
one
about. But
episode. I don't remember. That's when they're in
there's-
heaven, right?
Did The Good Place
Yeah.
get some inspiration from Santa Claus? Because I think Santa Claus came out first.
it did. So potentially.
You never
But
know.
yeah, so Santa's on the ground. He fell from the roof. And he's basically in a coma. Like,
Does that remind you of something?
No, but I was just gonna start continuing on with the plot.
It reminds me of the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Oh, you're right.
Oh.
Of course. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Commence.
Okay. So meanwhile, when does the neighbor start noticing? The neighbor notices all this too. Weirdo
Right,
Marcus,
at
who's
the-
obsessed
yeah.
with Santa and Christmas. He's seeing all this going down next door.
After he drags Santa into the house,
Yeah, the
and he's
kid-
like, shut the windows, because this neighbor has been tracking Santa Claus all night in his room.
Right, yeah, he's been on some kind of weird radar.
The
like,
NORAD tracker, remember that?
is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like,
He's aware that something's happening, but he
NORAD.
doesn't know right away that Santa's still down there.
right.
He just realizes, like, the sled was there, right? It takes a little while for him to realize Santa was down.
I think he hears. I remember doesn't he hear it? And he's like, oh my God, it's Santa, and he's like, he's got the camera.
I mean, at some point he figures it out,
Yeah,
right?
and then he starts filming him.
Doesn't he
the-
look in the window?
He has the
I don't know.
security camera.
Yeah, he has the camera. He sees that Santa's over there. He runs down. He starts like trying to peek in the windows, and Santa eventually wakes up after Tommy drags him in. And what did he wake up? He walks over to Santa trying to wake him up, and he's like, "Here's my organic cinnamon candle," and like sticks it under his nose.
That was
He's-
cute.
Yeah.
He's like, "There's got to be something else." I forget what starts waking him up. I think he was like snapping in his face, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Shut all the blinds," and the neighbor is like trying to see it, and yeah. I don't remember
Now,
what
at
happens
some
after that.
point, in the midst of all of this, for some reason, the neighbor, Marcus, wants to capture the mother cat. I was lost.
Oh, it's because...
Like, why was that?
So that's because while he's trying to look in the windows, Maisie, the mother cat, comes outside because basically he wants Marcus to get away from the house, the cat.
Oh. Okay.
So she starts growling at him and being like, "Row, row, row, row." And like Marcus is like, "Oh, shut up, like, you bad cat." And then like somehow Marcus steps on a skateboard and falls into the pool and gets all wet.
Wow.
And
I forgot about that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Was
I remember
here
it.
That is why he's
Now I
trying...
know.
Did I disassociate from my body as we were watching?
It was
that's
like...
I don't recall that.
That's like when I was like, are they on the moon? And
I think I checked out for a portion because
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this movie's so terrible. I think I just zoned out.
Yeah. Well, that is
I
why
don't remember that at all.
he wanted to capture
Yeah.
the cat because he was pissed at it. So that's why that
Oh,
happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually thought that part was funny when he put the fake mouse in the lawn.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I genuinely laughed at that part. And then he captures the cat.
So he tries to capture the cat because he's pissed at it. Yeah, with a...
So, at some point, the mom ends up coming down, Julia,
Yes.
and like, what
with
initiated
simply
her?
It's
hairspray in
a
her
very
hand.
complex film.
I'm like,
A lot
oh my
happened.
god, I can't even speak. I don't remember.
She
passed
down.
by a million times and didn't see him right
Yeah,
away.
she
I can't
comes
remember
down,
what was the final
She comes down
straw.
in the middle of the night, and then remember she's like she sneaks a cookie,
Yes.
and then
She's, like,
she also
half
is
asleep.
trying to get the cat upstairs, and then
she comes down. I forget what finally did it for her, but she comes down with a bottle of Simply hairspray in her hand, ready
oh yeah, she's like
to like tase Santa with this hairspray.
Yes.
Which you've discovered was a Simply Saline bottle with
it
a
was Simply
hairspray
Saline with
label.
like a sticker
Homemade.
over it that said what I assumed was hairspray. I actually never saw the H, so it looked like it said Simply Airspray.
Yeah.
I'm like, so this is the part that confused me was like some parts of this movie were so technologically advanced in terms of computer skills, but like they couldn't even acquire a hairspray bottle that
Yeah.
used Simply Saline
Yeah.
with a sticker over it.
Yeah, that was weird.
So she's like afraid of Santa. She thinks he's some crazy person.
like a mall Santa. She says like stay
Yeah.
back, like creepy
Yeah.
mall Santa.
And then they keep having Santa do like these tricks,
Yeah.
like these
Prove it.
magical tricks to prove that he's Santa.
And
So
it felt like
yeah.
it took her a long time to get convinced. Like he literally turned a half candy cane to a full candy cane on his hand, and she's like, "That's just a magic trick." Then he takes like a picture on the mantle, turns it into like a candy ribbon Christmas tree. That didn't convince her. And then they have a therapy session upstairs because
no.
then he like literally decks out their entire house in Christmas decorations with like a magic, you
The
know,
tree
woo-woo.
comes up.
And
That was funny. That was so
yeah,
funny.
and he's maniacally ho-hoing.
It goes on forever. It's like 5
Yeah.
minutes straight of him being like, and then the whole living room is transformed.
And her reaction,
That was my second favorite part.
Yeah.
That was so funny. And then
But
what
the
you were saying?
she runs up the stairs
Into the bathroom.
And calls the police. Like, that's her reaction to that. Fucking cops are, what are they gonna do? Anyway, so then
What does
Tommy,
he ask
her
her?
son-
I forgot. Like to convince.
they go to the door. So she's
Yeah.
locked herself in the room. Santa and Tommy go to her bedroom door, and they're having basically a big therapy session for like
Yeah.
a while. Santa basically goes into the entire past of why she's so bitter about Christmas and she doesn't believe, and he's like goes and explains all this stuff, and
He's like, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to cats, and
Yeah.
I knocked into the Christmas tree, and your record fell. I just got so scared and I left. And that's why for 30 years
and he
she...
never came back
Yeah.
to their house because he's allergic to cats. But like,
What does he do for the other people who have cats?
exactly? That's
Yeah,
what I
they're
was
the
gonna
only
say.
people in the world who have cats.
Like, that's so fucking dumb. But anyway, she eventually comes out because apparently he says enough stuff that strikes a chord with her. She comes out all emotional, gives him a hug, and then she apologizes to Tommy finally for being such a fucking curmudgeon-y bitch.
Yeah.
Like forever about Christmas. And then
they're realizing, like, oh shit, like, who has the sleigh?
Right.
And he's like, it's a catastrophe.
And then we see like a montage basically of like all the cats going to different houses, and like basically the moral of the story is all kids are evil.
Yeah.
Every kid had an agenda
true.
whenever the cats came down, and like one of the girls was like with, you know, two crazy pigtails, and she was basically Sid from Toy Story, basically.
It was just like an evil little, like a little girl who's like, playtime, and like there's like beheaded Barbies and like shit all over her room, and you're like, uh-oh, she's no good. And then she puts them in like a laundry basket and like starts dressing them up in like doll clothes, and the bird like speaks up and it's just like, I'm a prisoner, run!
Yeah.
And they like run out, and that was that scene. Then they end up lost on some kind of weird snowy. You thought it was the moon.
Yeah, I definitely checked out at that moment. I was really not paying attention.
Which ended up just being like a plastic sheet with like fake powdery snow on it, because you see as the kittens are moving around, like the sheet like moving.
Those poor kittens.
And they're breathing in all this like dusty fake
cute.
snow. So they're lost trying to get back home, and then back in Julia and Tommy's house, they're trying to figure out. Santa's like, what am I gonna do at sunrise? The magic, it runs out, and I have to get my sleigh back. And basically, what happens? Oh yeah, the creepy neighbor jumps in and saves the day.
He's the last one that needed a present, right? Wasn't the neighbor the last house?
Yeah.
On
Well,
the
you're
list?
forgetting how the neighbor stole Santa's hat.
Oh, he basically
yeah.
did like so Santa's hat is basically like ayahuasca, I guess. Like he put it on and was like he
knew everything.
Yeah, he literally saw all of Santa's memories.
Yeah, he saw the kittens, like he saw it all. Yeah, the neighbor's just basically in the background this whole time, trying to get to Santa, like
Being
ravenously, being really creepy.
And then he realizes that he needs to help bring the cats and the sleigh back. So then he like calls some friend. Remember, he calls some like creepy friend
Nedry.
to like
his name was
hack
Nedry.
into the mainframe.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that part.
My mind went blank during that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't even know. So either way, he like hacks into the video system that's on the sleigh, and he like guides them back. Isn't that what happened? You're looking at me like
I honestly
you checked out.
like,
too.
don't remember.
He got
Okay.
like their Wi-Fi fucking working on the sleigh again, basically, and like hacked in, and the mom, it was Marcus, the neighbor, and the mom cat Maisie on the video screen on the sleigh, talking to the kittens, trying to tell them like how to get back.
They got back.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then while that's happening, Santa is trying to like brainstorm. This is like kind of when he realizes he needs his hat. Remember, he's at the table. Then they offer him some cookies because he implies he needs some like nourishment, some brain food. So they give him the plate of peanut butter cookies.
He's like, did somebody say cookie?
Yeah.
He takes a bite, and then he starts to have an allergic reaction because then, as we mentioned before, he's allergic to peanuts all of a sudden. So the worst part of the movie is when Santa's having this allergic reaction to peanuts. His hand gets all swollen. The hand was so gross looking.
It was scary.
And then the
True
mom,
method acting.
I know.
He was like, oh.
The mom was like, "Get the EpiPen."
Oh, yeah.
And she's making the little kid look for the It's like,
It's in the first aid kit.
go grab it yourself.
Under the sink. The EpiPen was under the sink.
And instead of like an actual EpiPen, it's just this giant syringe that looked nothing like an actual EpiPen. But anyway, she stabs Santa with the EpiPen. He's better.
He's like, I feel like I won the lottery.
He's fine. I don't even
How the
know.
hell does this end?
And then basically the
end.
neighbors there. Oh yeah, and then they walk in. The kittens came back. The sleigh magically appears, and then they walk into their living room, and Marcus is laying on the floor with the kittens on his chest, and he's like, "This is exactly what it looks like." Haha. And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Again, and basically they go outside. Santa's like getting ready to leave. And,
Oh, yeah,
you
at
know,
this
it was
point-
like a big secret before with Santa, like, having to, he's like, shut the blinds, no one can see me. Then all of a sudden, it's middle of the day, like, at this point. Santa whips the sleigh, like, right on the street, like,
Parks it
broad
in front of the
daylight.
in
house.
broad daylight in front of the house, and spends, like, a decent amount of time out there, basically talking to all of them, and getting Julia and Marcus to, like, make up, like, their friendship. You learn that they didn't talk to each other for years and years, but they were best friends because they both saw Santa that night 30 years ago, and Julia was embarrassed and felt bad because kids were teasing both of them about it, so she didn't stick up for him, and he just never grew up in general and kept holding on to the Santa, you know. So they make up.
Yep.
And then Santa gives them each a present before he leaves. And the kittens get cat toys.
Yeah.
And Tommy wants to keep the kittens. And then Marcus is like, I'll take them. And
Yeah.
that's, I guess, how that goes. And Julia gets her record that was broken in 30 years ago. And she's like, thank you, Santa. And then the neighbor... Oh, he gets his Polaroid camera
Yeah.
that he tried to take a picture of Santa with. All too perfect.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
And then I think it literally ends with him taking an awkward selfie with the Polaroid of all of them.
Yep,
And
and then
then-
it pans out, and it's like our first Christmas.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, we saw that, we were like, wait, did they hook up? But it's not. It was actually just, like, their first Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Marcus just happened to be in the picture.
Yeah.
Because I was like, are they, like, all a family now?
Yeah.
But no.
So that's the whole movie. Also, I forgot about the scene where Marcus tries to bring over the bowl of Kraft mac and cheese to
Oh,
her
right.
house as,
Oh,
like,
that
a
was
gift.
that was probably his definitive creepy moment.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell what was going to happen.
It was really weird. I'm not even going to go into that, but...
Yeah.
Basically, the neighbor brings over a bowl of mac and cheese.
Hard to explain.
Hard to explain, and I think Marcus has feelings for Julia, or was it that he just wanted to be her friend again? Not really
I don't
clear
know.
entirely.
I
We'll
don't...
have to wait for the second movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I didn't get the vibe that he had a crush on her. I think he just wanted to nurture their
friends.
friendship that they
Yeah.
once had. But also, he was so creepy anyway. It was kind of hard to, like, get a good gauge on him.
Yeah.
And he reminded me a lot of Drake Bell
Yes.
from
Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh.
Or Jim Adkins from
Yeah,
Jimmy
he
World.
looked like he could be in, like,
Definitely in a
post hardcore band of
Yeah.
some sort. And yeah. So what did you guys think overall? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
Oh, I'd give it maybe like
Three?
I was
3.
thinking 3 too.
band. Yeah.
That's
I
what it
missed
was
that.
on IMDb. I checked it
Oh my
before.
god, okay.
3.1.
I think
Yeah.
that this was exactly what I thought it was going to be. And,
Yeah.
you know, it is interesting. I mean, like, when you don't have that big of a budget, props for trying to make a movie with talking animals. That's
True.
challenging.
I mean, I feel like they should have just stuck to the no mouth
I
moving
fully
method.
agree.
Because they did not have the technology adequate enough to do that. And the inconsistency wasn't worth, like I was like, whoa, that was impressive. Like, they should have kept it the same, budget or not.
You know what I was kind of disappointed in? You didn't really get a vibe from any of the cats. Like, you know, like in Homeward
Yeah.
Bound or those other movies, you
Right.
kind of have a favorite pet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, none of these cats had a distinctive personality. You didn't
Yeah.
even know their names until, like, 3/4 into the movie.
Right, you couldn't
Like,
figure out
I don't
who
know, there
who.
wasn't really, like, an emotional attachment to any of
No.
the cats or the characters for me. I like Tommy the most because he's just, like, a sweet
I thought
kid,
the cats were going to be the main
but-
characters, to be honest. When I looked at the poster,
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was going to be like, you know, the lead cat trying to save Christmas and like do it that way.
I mean, would you say there even was a main character? They were kind
I
of
don't
all
know.
fighting for that spot. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't. really
everyone kind of got the same
It's
amount of
Tommy.
screen time. Kind of Tommy.
Kind of Tommy.
He's like the protagonist or the catalyst for change. Like, he's the one propelling the story forward, but like, I feel like Marcus and the cats and Julia, they all
It was
kind of
kinda
were on the
spread
same
Ooh,
playing field.
Santa.
We've talked about this.
Come on,
These
we're
cats
recording.
are just knocking over all of our stuff.
It's real life.
So, yeah.
I would not recommend this film. Just
Unless
putting that
you,
out there,
like-
just making a statement.
I wouldn't
This is
either.
on the
Yeah.
record, official statement. I would not recommend watching this movie
No.
for any reason.
I agree. It was a little bit of a slog.
Unless you're trying to see like the worst movies out there and you're on a quest for that,
Right.
don't see this movie. There's plenty of other holiday movies out there that'll get your goat.
And I
with,
feel like there's plenty of other movies out there that are not great but fun to watch. This kind
Yeah,
of
right.
like I feel like this straddled between like were they trying to make something really good and it just didn't hit the mark, or were they trying to like be aware of their low budget? Because it didn't seem
I
like
don't
that.
think it was that.
It didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was like
I like awareness of a low budget,
right.
because then it's like, okay, you can watch it and you totally know like, but every single scene in this movie had music behind it and it was deafening.
Oh, really? I didn't.
It was like
See,
the
I didn't
it was like
notice that
the
either.
theme.
He's really over.
Oh, this was like the music
that.
from like the GameCube Harry Potter game, like the whole time during the movie.
See,
Oh.
that
I
didn't
didn't
bother
even
me.
notice.
But this
Interesting.
is coming from someone like, I'll be sitting here with a video game just like paused while I'm on my phone, and he'll be like, "Oh my god, like shut that off, like mute it right now." And I'm like, I don't even notice like
Yeah.
the music going, like doesn't bother me. But you're more attuned to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh no, Santa Claus was a flop for me.
Yeah, I
For all of us.
give it a flop too. Well, I think our shift is almost up here. I think
Yeah.
someone else is using the sound room next.
Yeah.
Right. We gotta get the hell out of
They've
here.
got to make their nightly announcements at the North Pole
Yeah,
about
yeah.
whose shift is up. My shift is actually almost up. I'm making Etch-a-Sketches later.
Oh, great.
How about you?
I took the day off.
Nice.
You got sick leave?
No, just PTO.
What do they have you working on, Lauren?
I think I'm in like the skip it section.
Oh,
Get some
That's-
90s throwback toys.
that's a good section. I've got a buddy who works there,
Oh yeah, what's his name?
Gerald.
He's a good guy. He works next to me.
Yeah, he's really good.
He,
Tell him I say
he
hi.
he works with Bop Its too. Like
Oh,
Oh my
makes
god.
the Bop Its.
Bop Its.
But that's all for today then. Right?
yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Wendy, for sending us your
Yeah,
letter.
Thanks,
you, Wendy.
Wendy.
Keep the letters coming.
And remember to jingle all the way.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.